for another installment of the first segment of the Summer Stay Sharp series, and again we continue to talk about the defense of this USF baseball team in 2011. We're here now with head coach Nino Giarratano. And Coach G, the first question just simply stated the defense this year obviously was great, statistically speaking and otherwise. A great year defensively. What was it that made this team so special defensively every day?
I think the pace at which the players play is probably the biggest key, but I think they deserve the credit. The credit goes to them for the amount of work that they're willing to put into their craft. And they know that defense wins. They know that's a staple of our program. It's really become a thing where when you watch Steve work at third base in pregame, he never wastes a rep. When you watch Mason go into the bullpen and do his thing, Travis become a great defensive player. You look at Adam and Reitz, and look what Jason Mahood has done to transform himself into a great defensive player. Mick Baylog, and then Connor Bernatz has always been a talent. Pete turned himself into a great player, and then we did it with three different guys in left field. So I think the credit has to go to the players. They all didn't come in here as plus defensive players. They all made themselves into great defensive players. So that's something you can do. That's not something you need. You either run fast or you don't. You could become a good defensive player with limited tools.
You talk about becoming a great defensive player. So from your perspective as the head coach, as the guy that's got to make the lineup every day, what are the ways that you help this group prepare every day to become this great defensive team?
Yeah, I think it's in our day-to-day practice. It's in our lead-up drills. I wish there was a magical thing, but more importantly, it's the internal clock. It's the pace at which the players learn how to play their position. And I think that's the thing I can help them with most, is making the play they're capable of making instead of trying to make the play they think they need to make. And that's always been a staple. That's always been a cliche. You always make the play you're capable of making. And I think that's helped us, where even down at the end of the season there were plays we were capable of making that we didn't make, but we continued to stay with that pace, and I think that's going to be a difference maker for us. And I think it was a difference maker, and we're really proud of what they've been able to do.
Last question for you. Obviously this year the defense, a big part of that West Coast Conference Championship, and you look forward now to trying to defend that title next year. What do you say to guys, the new guys coming in, and how they have to prepare defensively every day, and then also guys that are returning, what do they need to do to just stay at that level that they were able to execute at this year?
Yeah, I think sometimes programs they put themselves in a situation where they're built on pitching and defense. They're built on there was the gorilla ball with LSU and what they were able to do offensively. And I think we've always wanted to get ourselves from a standpoint that we stamp ourselves as a team that plays defense and pitches. Doesn't mean we don't work at the offensive side of it, but I think any player coming into this program, if they're not efficient enough defensively, there's not a spot on the field for them. Where in other programs, if you hit enough, you find your way onto the field. Here, you're going to have to use your glove to get yourself into the lineup and on the field. And hopefully we've made that statement. And hopefully we make that statement statistically, but we also make that statement day to day. Players come into the program and they know, hey, this is the standard I need to uphold. Hopefully that's a West Coast Conference championship. Hopefully that's a regional championship, and so on and so forth. And that's where they uphold the tradition of the program.